The moment my daughter-in-law spotted me at my granddaughter's wedding, the smile on her face collapsed like a dropped glass. She marched across the ballroom in heels sharp enough to cut stone and said loudly, "Who let her in? She's not on the guest list. Someone get the manager." "No." The room went quiet. Crystal chandeliers glittered above us. Champagne flutes froze midair. 100 well-dressed guests turned to stare at me like I was a stain on silk. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I didn't defend myself. I simply stood there, calm as ever. You see, my name is Margaret Collins. I'm 69 years old, and for the last 7 years, my daughter-in-law Vanessa has done everything she could to erase me from my son's life. She succeeded, mostly. But what she didn't know, what she never bothered to check, was that my granddaughter Lily never stopped calling me. When Lily got engaged, she cried on the phone and told me she could never afford her dream venue, Riverside Manor. I told her not to worry. I didn't explain why. So when I walked into that ballroom wearing a navy dress and the pearls Lily gave me years ago, I knew exactly where I belonged, even if Vanessa thought otherwise. She leaned close enough for me to smell her perfume. "How did you even get past security?" she whispered sharply. "Lily invited me," I said. She laughed, short, cruel, and loud enough for nearby guests to hear. "I handled every invitation personally. If your name isn't on the list, you don't belong here."
That's when the hurt hit. Not because I cared what she thought, but because I realized she had intentionally excluded me from my own granddaughter's wedding. 7 years of small insults suddenly made sense. Vanessa waved a server over. "There's an uninvited guest causing a scene." I smiled softly. "Why don't we involve management?" I said. "Just to be sure." Her eyes lit up. "Oh, gladly," she replied. "I'd love for everyone to see how this place handles people who don't know their place." What she didn't realize, what no one in that room realized, was that calling management was the worst mistake she could have made. Because in just a few minutes, the entire wedding was about to stop. And when the manager finally arrived, he didn't ask me to leave. He asked Vanessa a question that made her face drain of color.
"Who let her in? She's not on the guest list. Someone get the manager. Now."
The manager arrived quickly. He said, "Mrs. Collins, would you like this conversation to be private?" Vanessa snapped, "You know her?"
He nodded politely. "Yes, ma'am. I do." A ripple moved through the crowd. Vanessa laughed nervously. "Well, that doesn't change the fact that she doesn't belong here. My husband and I are paying customers." The manager turned to her. "Are you the primary account holder for tonight's event?" "Of course," she said. "Every detail." He paused, then looked back at me. "Would you like me to cancel the event, Mrs. Collins?" The silence was deafening. Vanessa's mouth fell open. "Cancel? What are you talking about?" I finally spoke loud enough for everyone to hear. "I won't cancel," I said gently. "This day is for Lily." Gasps spread across the ballroom. My son, Daniel, finally pushed through the crowd, confusion written all over his face. "Mom? What's going on?" Before I could answer, Vanessa jumped in. "She crashed the wedding. I told you she wouldn't respect boundaries." Daniel looked at me, torn.
The manager said, "Mr. Collins, your mother is the owner of Riverside Manor." The silence was deafening. I replied, 2 years ago, I won a large lottery. I stayed quiet to know who loved me without money."
Vanessa stared at me like she was seeing a ghost. "And tonight," I added, "I covered most of this wedding. The venue. The catering upgrades. The music. The extended hours." Lily appeared then, eyes wide and shimmering. "Grandma, is that true?" I smiled at her. "Every bit." Vanessa whispered, "You humiliated me on purpose." "No," I said softly. "You did that all by yourself." But instead of apologizing, Vanessa doubled down, and threatened to take my son and grandchildren away forever. Vanessa snapped. She grabbed my son's arm and hissed. If you don't make her leave right now, we're done. The room erupted in murmurs. Vanessa, Daniel said quietly, this isn't the time. No, she screamed. This is exactly the time. She turned to me, eyes blazing. You think money makes you important? You're still just a lonely old woman buying control. I won't lie, that one stung. But before I could respond, Lily stepped forward. Mom, she said, voice shaking but strong, stop. Vanessa scoffed. You don't understand. Oh, I do, Lily replied. I understand that Grandma paid my student loans. That she helped Dad with his business. That she paid for this wedding while you took credit. Vanessa's face drained of color. Daniel looked at his daughter. What loans? Lily swallowed. They disappeared last year. Grandma did it. That's when Daniel finally looked at me, not with confusion, but clarity. Mom, all this time? I nodded. Quietly. Vanessa lost control completely. You're manipulating everyone, she shouted. You buy love because no one actually wants you. A collective gasp swept the room. That was it. I stepped forward, voice steady. I helped because I loved you all. I never asked for praise. Only respect. I looked directly at my son, but no one gets to abuse kindness. Daniel gently pulled his arm away from Vanessa. Apologize, he said. Now. Vanessa laughed hysterically. Or what? I answered calmly. Or I stop. She sneered. Stop what? I pulled out my phone. The transfers. The guarantees. The co-signed loans. The memberships. All of it. Her confidence shattered. You wouldn't. I already have, I replied, tapping the screen. Daniel closed his eyes. Vanessa collapsed into a chair, shaking. Lily walked over and hugged me tightly. I'm choosing you, she whispered. The crowd slowly began to clap, not loudly, but firmly. Vanessa looked around and realized she had lost every ally in the room. But just when I thought it was over, Vanessa dropped one final bomb, one that threatened to destroy my son's marriage forever. Vanessa wiped her tears and smiled, cold and sharp. If I'm going down, she said, everyone's coming with me. Daniel stiffened. What are you talking about? She turned to me. Ask your son where he's been going late at night. My heart skipped. Daniel's face went pale. Vanessa, stop. Oh no, she laughed. Tell her. Tell her about the meetings. The secret calls. The room leaned in. Lily clutched her husband's arm. Daniel took a breath. I was meeting with a lawyer. Vanessa's smile faltered. A divorce lawyer, he continued. Because I finally realized what you've been doing to my family. The silence exploded. Vanessa screamed. You're lying. I'm done, Daniel said. With manipulation. With ultimatums. With cruelty. He turned to me. I'm sorry it took me this long.
Vanessa wiped her tears and smiled, cold and sharp. If I'm going down, she said, everyone's coming with me. Daniel's face went pale. Tell her, Vanessa laughed. Tell her about the meetings. The secret calls. The room leaned in. Daniel took a breath. I was meeting with a lawyer. A divorce lawyer, he continued. Vanessa's smile faltered. I finally realized what you've been doing to my family. I'm done with cruelty. Vanessa screamed. You're lying. He turned to me. I'm sorry it took me this long. Vanessa stormed out. No one followed. I hugged Lily and whispered, your happiness matters most. But weeks later, I received a call that proved Vanessa wasn't finished, and what she tried next shocked even me.
Tears filled my eyes, but not from sadness. From relief. Vanessa stood, shaking. You'll regret this. She stormed out. No one followed. The band slowly resumed playing. I hugged Lily, kissed her cheek, and whispered, "Your happiness matters more than any drama." Rehook. But weeks later, I received a call that proved Vanessa wasn't finished, and what she tried next shocked even me. The room didn't erupt after Vanessa's last accusation. It went quiet. Not the awkward kind of quiet, but the heavy.
3 weeks later, Vanessa tried to sue me, claimed emotional distress, financial manipulation. She lost. Every claim collapsed under documentation she didn't know existed. The real surprise came months later when Vanessa showed up at my door asking for help. She looked smaller somehow. I told her, control feels safe until it costs you love. Lily and her husband visited me the next weekend. We cooked together, laughed. Winning isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet. It's choosing dignity over revenge. You don't need to prove your worth to people who benefit from disrespecting you. You just need the courage to stop accepting it. This story isn't just mine, it's yours.
If you liked this story, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when the next story comes out.